Wow. That's World of Warcraft.
Little
Be ready, guys. That's coming soon. But Heroes of the Storm so far, 2-0.
That's right. We get to see our Warcraft heroes before you get to see them there. So. Well, we might not be here for very much longer, G-Clef. It certainly looks like today is a return to usual as we just get 1-3-0 after another here in HGC Korea. Yeah. Eventually, things will even out. We'll have sick 3-2s, but not yet.
Well, I still didn't pop my second coffee yet. And
that's right.
I'm still alive, so that means we're going pretty quickly today. As I talked to Feliz, remembers, and I talked to wait, who did I talk to? I talked to Liu for a second.
Okay.
And I just said awkwardly, "How's life?"
Probably not
and it says,
great right now.
My life is okay, but not the match.
Oh. Well,
so sorry.
Sorry about that, man. You're a consummate conversationalist.
And of course everything in Korean, but Liu, it was like, and then I said of course the match is pretty hard, but how are you guys feeling? And then sadly he was responding, says, "Oh, you're used to this."
Ooh. Well, at least they're in familiar territory, right? They're not out of their comfort. I don't know how many more ways I can spin that, but I mean, we've only got one final map remaining, G-Clef.
You can never be sure.
I mean, remaining for them to, pull it back. They've only got so much room to experiment here. They have to turn it around now. This is the final map that they have to turn it around, because if they don't do it here, they're gone.
Yeah, they choose to go with first pick again. That's the usual. Battlefield of Eternity. Well, maybe the final map. It is best of 5. BlossoM takes 2. One more. That's 3-0. Same Genji ban. Staying with that as once banned from BlossoM Game 1. Continuing with Feliz, and again, you do not want to give Hanzo to anyone on this map. That is for sure. We have proven that for lots of MSB matches. Even starting from the group stage all the way into the finals.
Absolutely. No Shimadas allowed, but I want to see whether or not either one of these teams will adapt to something like Urel. We've been seeing quite a bit of that. I think it is safe to say that she is a very, very strong hero, but neither one of BlossoM or Feliz feel comfortable bringing her out. So maybe not a commodity for this series, or is that kind of the missing puzzle piece to Feliz?
I think this is a pretty hard puzzle with 1,000 pieces.
It's one of those puzzles that's all white.
How can you even fit all the white? Wait, why are you even trying to fit the puzzles together if it's all white?
That's my question, but for some people they enjoy the challenge, right? I think that's just a little bit of, I don't know, schadenfreude, but, whatever they want.
Now that Greymane is kind of back in the meta, they can actually, that's the reason why they actually pick tank supports so much without the mages. And especially on this map, Greymane can actually is actually a pretty good racer onto the Immortal, as well as Vala, of course, a little out of the meta, but Hanzo, and sometimes even Artan is into the play. But Sergeant Hammer has been the crazy pair up with Irel and Phoenix, so at least they do need to think about the Sergeant Hammer right now, or else they need to use that ban card.
Yeah, so we do see the first Irel of the series. Very warranting of that first pick. I was watching, like I said, HGC EU, and there's just all Urel all the time over there. And I'm glad to see that that is kind of filtered over here now that we are playing HGC on the double quotes balance patch. But yeah, hey, it's the return of Tracer coming back.
You really picked tasks here. At least it's not a team that open division. Yes, they did use lots of. Oh, that's a long time ago. So back in double support meta, they did use some tasks along with some Malfurion, Karazim, even Luther back then. Some Tracers, not too often. So we don't really know exactly that they're going to have tasks that are along with that Tracer. May just be a bait for the second rotation.
Could change things up. I mean, it's still not something that we've seen, but I guess Urel fits into that category as well for at least this series. Second ban phase, though. Is this where we're going to see Sergeant Hammer targeted?
think target ban should come out from Feliz, more likely. As the reason why you actually see lots of hammer against the Tracer still is because you can kind of block the damage of Tracer by getting healed, of course, from the support, but you can buy that amount of time which you are plating. Getting that armor, I think, is a very big tool for Sergeant Hammer to actually survive.
Yeah, absolutely. A Blaze ban. Okay, not wanting to play that, play into that in the off lane. And there is the Sergeant Hammer, exactly like you said, G-Clef.
It was basically going to be picked near 90%, or maybe higher, even higher than that. BlossoM, what's their plan B? They gotta show it here. Still need tank support and the secondary DPS.
Maybe they have another combo. I mean, is there a hero? You said, of course, Sergeant Hammer fits very well with this combination. Is there anything else that would kind of fill a similar role?
Gleaming, not the one that I was looking for, but Phoenix already has a decent amount of output, so that's okay. I was expecting a Johanna a little bit more because they had to use the Sergeant Hammer ban for almost nearly guaranteed, but they picked up Garrosh, so I thought BlossoM was making sure they ban the Hammer so they don't ban the Johanna instead, so we can just pick that Johanna against Garrosh. But this time it is going to be Morden. Maybe they're just not thinking of that at all.
Well, you can see Liu kind of feeling how maybe all of us feel, just kind of racking his brain, trying to think of a way to hopefully turn the series around. They haven't found it yet. It looked better in Game 2, but still very shaky from Feliz on the day. We'll see if they can turn that around with the final 2 picks.
Yeah, only a few days into week 2 with the balance update, and Hammer is actually super meta in Korea. Picked all the time, not just in BOE. Even in lots and lots of Hero League, she's actually banned so many times right now. And Alarak, he does fit the map. We did see some crazy rich Alarak.
Rich as Alarak is no joke. That's the truth. But coming in here for Feliz, I mean, there's a reason Alarak is not, you know, a hyper meta champion or hero. My second time for today. We're gonna forget that one.
Yeah, 2 strikes. Well, you're out next time.
Okay. I thought it was 3 strikes. I'm out. So I'm gonna stick on 2. We'll do better next time. So Alarak, very interesting. But is that sort of the ace up their sleeve for Feliz?
Alarak. The reason why, you see the Kinesis just pulling the targets into the immortal stun and just focusing them down. They also have Garrosh. Throw them back and draw them even further away from the teammate. Make sure they have the isolation along with some pairing with the entangling route. They have the Greymane Tracer burst. I mean, it seems like it's a lot of if, but it can actually.
Whoa!
Anna!
No way! No matter what age you are, G-Clef, you can still play Heroes of the Storm. Anna, of course, a testament to that. Grandma's out there. If you guys are watching and your grandma's like sitting there, say, hey grandma, come over. This is what you would be if you were in my HGC. So Anna coming back. When was the last time you saw Anna, G-Clef?
Phase 1 Part 2, when Nasang actually played. It was the same team, BlossoM kicked out. And Nasang actually played one of the Anna in the final 2 weekends, I believe, before Alex Raza.
So the answer is a while, and certainly not meta. Wow, I did not expect to see that as the final pick here. I'm glad we get a little bit of something interesting here as we, are in what could be our last game of the day, unless Feliz with their pick of the High Lord can turn it around.
It is actually not out of the thinking box to have Anna here.
Okay.
As they have Li Ming. Nanoboost Li Ming pretty strong, lots of skills. Gives another chance for them to burst.
Eye of
as
Horus.
well. And
come on.
It is actually a sleep darts when Feliz is trying to have their massive CC. One sleep dart can just cancel everything that's Feliz is trying to do. So Anna, I don't think it's actually a bad choice so far, because Irel can also peel their backline of Li Ming and Anna. So just gathering my line of thinking here for BlossoM.
But feel me here, G-Clef. All right. Nano boosted Avenging Wrath, right? You just catapult a fully charged Shirel with Nano Boost right in the middle of the enemy team. Their back line blows up. There's nothing they can do. I'm waiting for it.
But Urel does no damage. Not no damage.
No, you can get the talent to give her 30% spell power.
Well, still, that's not going to be enough by herself. I think Nano Li Ming, very likely.
Probably.
Oh, yes. And once they have their race, but it will actually, this Nano Li Ming actually depends on where the immortal spawns. Of course, first one's guaranteed, but after the first few, if you actually make the travel all the way to the other side, and there are so many tools and heroes from Feliz hold on to the thought. Focus on the Feliz. This is exactly what they want to do. They get it done.
Taken very low, but he is absolutely safe and sound with the rest of his team right there. Wow, just beautiful play there, Liu. Really calm, cool, collected, keeping it 300 with a great opening play for Feliz.
They managed to do it already into the game. I mean, they caught Phoenix off guard a little bit, so that they're actually switching lanes. Phoenix actually going top because they know that the massive CC will grab him because he has some slight delay before the warp actually goes in effect. Smart move, BlossoM, after a kill. Pretty good, pretty quick change of plan here.
Right, saying, okay, well, maybe we can't fight straight up 4v5. Going to get out and play the macro game, heading up top. We'll get that camp immediately. Of course, I mean, Feliz, still struggling with that name for some reason. We'll do the same thing, rotate down bottom, but at least they're not actually fighting, so an even trade is something that BlossoM are probably pretty happy.
Have you noticed? You don't even see the full face of Alarak, only his forehead.
That's because he's
and
hiding.
Barely the eyes. And then no chin for sure.
No chin, and if you look at the portraits, nobody has so you can see censorship hard at work here. If we had like an Alex Straza portrait, that would be the ultimate example of this. Although I still don't know why they have to like zoom in and stretch that out as much as they do.
What we see every single time, but something to notice. And I'm gonna start off with one kill. This is probably the best opening for them so far. But we have to talk about the immortal phase. How they actually want to handle. Do they want to go super offensive and make sure they cut one off and then start their immortal doing damage? So far, Greymane clearing waves, so they're managing to delay this one a little bit.
Yeah, soaking up top. Probably about time to come down here. Oh, attempted engage there by Hanatan, but can't find anything. So, I mean, Feliz will protect their immortal, but, I mean, we're still waiting on really seeing Wiz or Aimer enter the fight. So they haven't really committed just yet.
So, even if Feliz just push everyone out of BlossoM, just holding, not using their skills, will actually pressure them out of the zone. Doing any damage, even Li Ming will be so far away. Oh, that was a close one. Great dodge by Gondar at the same time.
Yeah, although Wiz now going in.
Focus onto Hanatan.
There's a toss in as well. Hanatan pretty low, but I mean, he will be healed up in time. Now it's OJ still low. He will be able to back out, but man, Honkono just doesn't stop. And finally, OJ will be eliminated, taken out as the first casualty of the fight. And this is a big turnaround for BlossoM.
And Liu heals himself.
Decision making there.
I think Garrosh went down at the same time, so because of that, not just because of that kill. And meanwhile, Phoenix has been doing damage onto the immortal, so they will win. But Feliz, they have failed to get their mission done in this immortal phase, which worries me a lot. They did it in the laning phase only, but their job was to pressure in, make sure they grab and to kill at least one. And then they do the damage with the immortal. That's the reason, that is the way of winning for them.
I mean, hey, Alarak Quest is really going to help out here, right? Honkono, yikes. I mean, that's the power of the High Lord. Of course, the rest of the team backing him up. We'll get a nice blow up, and we'll allow maybe Feliz a better opportunity to clear out our first immortal.
Get some massive siege damage from Phoenix as well. Modern just keeping sight and range out of that zone. Suddenly we have some crazy amount of sound from the game. I don't know what's happening.
We are really able to hear just every single sound effect right now, G-Club.
Even the minions, I can hear all the minions going down.
I mean, that's just really
okay.
essential. Yeah,
Shooting quite of a damage.
even though this Immortal is, I think, started out at about half health, it's being preserved for about as long as possible. This is that Immortal that Evanescence wrote the song about. Pushing all the way in, all the way through our first keep. Deeper down. Second keep, I believe. Or is that third? Or am I just totally off?
What? There are only 2 keeps.
Oh, no, I meant fort. I'm still mixing those up.
There are only two forts.
There are only 2, so that is the first one, right? That's what I was checking.
1-on-1, man. You gotta take that 1-on-1 first.
Glad that we've solidified that. All of my questions are answered. Taking a look at the talents. What's going on with Merge in there?
You actually do a lot more siege damage because of that. I'm not.
Hello? Goodbye. Wow, High Lord is now the Low Lord.
I know Alok does like to feel the pain, but not that much to actually kill himself.
Yeah, wow, that's a little bit too sadistic there. So, no more High Lord for the time being, a 4-on-5. Gondor taking a little bit of poke, but he'll be okay. The rest of the team helping him poke out as we look to take down fort number 2. Here we go, I got it right.
Yeah, we'll just continue as Tracer just still gets hit from the skill shots, and the grenade actually being pretty useful for Merryday. So once they have so much armor and the heals from Amphibian, it just kills everything with that grenade. I think that's the focus they want to have BlossoM, and really using Ana, understanding Ana as a team, and having that focus down I think is a good tool. Haymaker once again!
Hey, there you go. All right, we've seen some great Haymaker geometry so far, so I'm excited to see it again, and I'm glad that our observers are highlighting that again we have emergent potential.
Again, Haymaker, and even the Sledgehammer. Once you get lots of stacks, you actually do like thousands of damage to the structures, but that's like super late game. And I did that against AI to have a quick AI games, but that's only the AI games. You don't really see that competitive too much.
Maybe that's how BlossoM are kind of treating this. They understand that they have a big advantage, and they've got the history of HGC Korea on their side with so many 3-0s. They're feeling it, and maybe that will help them take an easier win.
Onkano having a signature Haymaker here, as Korean casters always call him out that, are you really picking Haymaker if you play a tank? And he's originally said, I'm playing a DPS in BlossoM, but hold on to the thought as tries to do the damage onto OJ, but it seems like he's going to be taking damage as well. Wiz is surviving his Irel. He's not going to go down with that much damage.
Full health, full shield Immortal here for BlossoM, and they will really have a great attempt, or a great chance at just pushing all the way through. So if there's any moment the Feliz need to defend, it is now.
Look at Merryday as he just queued in there, just checking for the, just in case Feliz is having some massive invade. But that's the kind of move you need as a pro mindset, never putting your guard down, just making sure everything is clean for your team.
Gotta keep your hands up. Oh, wow, that's not the place you want to be.
Cast a curse there, as Merryday just bounces in and goes down in a second.
There's that old Christmas carol, Grandma got run over by a reindeer. It's written about plays like that. No more Ana, so no more healing coming in here, but they're still going to go for it. They've got, of course, a strong Immortal presence up front, and that level advantage. 2 up for BlossoM. They are not going to stop just yet.
Counter-Strike not really doing any damage, but Aimer goes down, gets the kill with, and that's not gonna be the only one. Great Twilight Dream to have silences all over.
Hanatan coming forward.
Getting some absorb with the defender, but Wiz can only survive for such a long time against this type of comp.
Yeah, he is going to get silenced, taken down there by the Tracer. A beautiful pick to start that off, but an even better finish by Feliz.
But they still get the keep. That was the mission for BlossoM. They managed to get the key 5 kills, of course, for getting Feliz. They catch up in experience so far, almost not quite exactly the same, but they caught up a lot. They had over a level lead before.
Yeah, I mean, it was for a brief moment a 2-level lead. Now it is pretty much dead even. That's exactly the fight that Feliz needed to have. And yeah, you know, Debbie Downer, G-Clef does mention that, yeah, they lose the key, but they come back in a lot of other ways. So at least now they'll be able to fight a little bit more heads up.
mean, BlossoM felt that a few times. That Alara combo with the Pulse Bomb is actually pretty powerful. Because Wiz initiating alone.
Okay, Wiz. I don't know.
And Hakana, Haymaker onto aim of Raymond. Almost gets caught.
Oh.
Does he?
Oh, he didn't actually.
Yeah, he missed the salvo. He actually rolled out of salvo. But the rest of the members are actually getting caught. And it seems like a disaster. Counter-Strike not really hitting too many. Limmy gets a reset.
Yikes. Wow. I mean, maybe, I guess Aimer just knew something. Or not Aimer. I guess it was Wiz knew something the rest of his team didn't. He jumps in by himself. He's like, come on, guys. Let's just win. The rest of his team was like, and then they all went in and they had the fight of their lives. So
Feliz actually spent lots of the skill shots to save Aimer.
Right.
And that's, I think, why a lot of the damage was wasted, leaving BlossoM to focus onto the other targets. And they were trying to catch multiple. They were catching many rabbits at the same time, and they could they actually have all the weapons and tools to chase multiple kills. And that's what happened.
Now they're back onto the Immortals. Last time, the Immortal got them almost all the way to the core. But this time, there's the potential to go even farther and take it down. Gonna have to try to either force a fight or push BlossoM off this Immortal. And they'll do it for a moment, but can they maintain this position?
Already halftime. It seems like we've been into this game forever, but so much action happening. So this is the moment for Feliz, when the Immortal is actually on their side, making sure they pressure out the opponents a little bit, catch them off guard, maybe try to get a kill. Because BlossoM is so far away from their own base. This is how they tried to get a kill, chase them, but because they're so far pressed and the bottom wave is so big, can't really do the focus comes.
Okay, Hong Kono going in, but
just survive and Haymaker's out.
Beautiful use of that URL, by the way. Almost dead, comes back to full health. Perfectly done there by Hong Kono. Gotta give a shout out to a guy on a new role, of course, new team coming back from caster retirement land and making it look good.
I think that was all Mary Day.
Okay.
Did he actually manage to heal him in the middle of all that? I don't think.
How do you even find the clicks there?
Sleep Dart went in for sure, but he's survived and he doesn't even have an avatar. He was about to go down, but somehow he was surviving, and of course he has the Thunderclap to actually heal himself.
And Mary Day, I mean, I was giving maybe a little bit too much credit there to Hong Kono. Although it is really cool to see the combo of the two retired players coming back being so effective. Here we go, Wiz. I thought he was going in there again for a second. Maybe fading us all a little bit. This Immortal is just going to be so hard for Feliz to deal with.
Waiting for the moment. Yes. Still with the shield, he'll have range damage.
There's Wiz going in again, getting flipped back out. A nice defense, saying no, you're not going to get in quite that easily.
One does go in, but this time without the CC
look
salvo.
at this salvo. Nice protected, not going to take down outright that easily.
Actually activates the Counter-Strike, and Greymane goes for the kill.
I mean, Dudu pretty low down there, so it's going to be a very vulnerable Tracer. Can they heal up in time?
Oh, goes in, and Gondor gets killed. Sees the lethal, and Tracer actually bolts in, blinks in.
Found lethal there. Glad he could do that one. Didn't even need chat to help out. Immortal on the core, and the fight will commence. OJ won't stay around very much longer. And I think this is just going to do it, G-Clef.
Immortal still not really too healthy, but the core is going down, and another kill onto Mafirian as well. So only one Greymane left, even Haymaker off screen. And just to catch all the action.
Oh, Mary Day. Don't do it. Oh, there it goes.
1, 2, 3.
Yes. And boom goes the dynamite. A nice sort of exclamation point on the end by Urel there with an Avenging Wrath, perhaps appropriately named. And GG, that's going to do it. A 3-0 for BlossoM over Feliz.
And so many kills to grab even at the end. And even after losing Phoenix, this Gondar diving in, I really didn't have too much trust in Gondar's DPS backline, even with a mage, because playing tank and then suddenly going to a DPS role with ranged assassins and suddenly a mage, because we don't really have competitive information on this player so much. But after looking at these angles where he dives in and looks for the snipe angle of himself, and turns the game around by getting his own reset, not Slightly a big of help from a teammate, but look at the damage. Gondar just having resets after resets, and most of them is actually made by himself, own mechanical play.
Gondar just killing it that game. I want to give a big shout out to Wiz because his engagements just looked great. Even when his team didn't follow him up, he still kind of was like, hey, pile in, guys, let's go. And he did start out fights that his team won really, really hard. Merry Day, I got to say on an Anna that I didn't know what to expect, right? Because we don't get a chance to see Anna a whole lot. Looks fantastic. Even Honkono trusting his fellow retiree to come back. And that final fight, I hope we get a replay of how on earth Honkono survived there in the end. What an incredible final fight to the game.
I think it was because it was so stacked with the opponent. He just clapped and got all the healing back with. I think that's how he actually survived for such a long time. And after the initial skill shot with the burst, you can't really have too much follow-up. And because they used all the skills together, I think they lacked a little bit of damage. And that's also why Honkono didn't go Avatar. He doesn't even need the Avatar when he can survive. Just like that with the Haymaker, making the plays like bringing Greymane in sometimes. And that's how they break the team fight, really have the positioning like literally broken off for the opponent.
Yeah, I think there was a lot more than just the positioning that got broken off that game, G-Clef. Wow, what a dominant performance. And history continues to repeat itself. 3-0s all across the board today. And I don't think any of them looked really close. I mean, maybe game 2 of that second series was a little bit rougher, but I don't think you could at any point say that BlossoM were at risk of just totally falling apart and losing.
No. Compared to Feliz, they're on a different level. And And there's another level on top of BlossoM as well. So Korea actually has a gigantic gap between the top few teams and the bottom few teams. And eventually, maybe it will mix in a little bit more. And that's where BlossoM is right now, in the middle, slightly going above. Because BlossoM, even when they first came up, they were in the bottom 3, 6th place, 7th place, and barely managed to go 5th at the end, defeating Miracle back then. It was a different roster as well. But after that, slightly coming up and talking about different roster, I think this may be their best roster. But with this so many roster changes, I think BlossoM has to pull out their best result now, or they will just start to crumble as the other teams does.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's a look back at an overview, a recap, if you will. BlossoM, of course, with a 3-0 over Feliz. Some fun games and fun fights, and even some fun picks there at the end. But it was not fun for Feliz, who got just really dominated. From being down 4 levels at the end of game 1 to that very smooth sailing win there for BlossoM at the end. Wow, just, I mean, what a day.
We're ninjas. We just turned into 3 and back to 2. And
that's right.
So I'm going to have an interview. And who would you choose from BlossoM? I think we got to hear from Merry Day last time.
I always want to hear from Merry Day. I'm spoiled because we get a chance to see him back in HGC Korea. We did get a chance to hear from him again last time. I don't know, maybe Honkono,
yeah. With the Haymaker and all that. Just
I
because
know
he was actually doing the interview last time as a caster.
But
he will be interviewed this time.
He's going to be on the other side of the microphone.
As a player. So why not just give him the mic and let him interview himself?
He sits there, he's like, so Honkono, how do you feel about this? It's like, well, I tried to make good plays for my fans. It's like, because he knows.
Because I always pointed fingers for him making so many awkward interviews. Because I have to translate every single thing that he says.
Right.
And of course I skipped a little bit. Just a little bit when he was saying some random stuff to himself for some reason. I don't know. That's why he was bad at an interview. And all the Koreans know for sure. There were lots of threads about his interview is bad. It's actually a meme now because it was so bad all the time.
Just some quick recaps. 2-Minute Spider Queen for game 1. See an impeccable almost takedown onto OJ, which turns into an inevitable one. He does go down there. A nice catch by BlossoM. Game number 2. On Shrines, and this was actually the scariest point for me for Feliz. They get caught out there, and I'm like, wait a second, this is not supposed to happen.
And you say, is that going to happen all the time? But no.
No, it didn't.
Only a few times in the beginning of the game, and BlossoM actually managed to separate pretty well against Spirits.
A nice way to split, and this is where Aimer kind of takes a little bit of a misclick.
I guess he wanted to sacrifice himself. I think that's the best way of putting that play.
Is it though? Yeah, and finally we get a chance to see what it looks like to win this final fight here. I thought it was just going to be the crazy cage combo, pulling everybody back in, but in the end, you know, they weren't trapped in there with them. It was
They managed to hit 20, so actually did okay.
all the way. Oh, watch
We got that grenade.
feels good. A nice pickup there by Urel.
Let's look. So he's super low, got healed from the dart, and claps to heal himself back.
What
The Storm
even?
tosses away, and Haymaker says no way to Aimer for getting the kill.
That's insane. All right, I mean, at that point, you just got to pack it up. It's done. You get on the subway. That is just an incredible play there. Split-second decision-making, godlike play by Mary Day, always.
Oh, that was a great playback, and we will actually have an interview with Mary Day from BlossoM. Let's start.
일단 오늘 승리 축하드립니다.
네, 감사합니다.
일단 오랜만이에요.
Congrats on your win, and it's been a while, Mary Day.
저는 중간중간에도 스튜디오 구경 좀 오고 다른 선수들
Well,
경기 있을
even
때
when I was off, I
같이
actually
끝나고
visited
놀자고
the
좀
studio a
몇
few
번씩
times.
와서
And whenever the players
여기 이
wanted to
자리에
play, I
앉는 건
did
좀
come a few
어색한데
times.
저 바깥 자리는 좀 익숙하네요.
And sitting at the crowd is actually quite familiar for me, but playing at the stage,
그냥 전체적으로
different
다들
feeling.
승리할 거라는 생각이 있었고 무난하게
Overall, we
하면은
thought we were
이길
going
것
to have
같다고 다들 얘기를
a
하고
win
있는
today
상태라서
with the best of 5.
그냥 가볍게 이긴 것 같아요.
So I think we had a clean victory today.
근데 오늘 조금 의외의 궁이 있었어요. 선치의 아이콘인데 어떻게 보면 메리데이 선수가
And of course, you are
오늘은 왜
known for your
KO 를
ancestral win. Why did you go for the
요즘
bloodlust?
메타 자체가
And meta right now
유지력과 죽창이라고 흔히 하나를
is actually
찍는 그런
breaking through the
싸움이
sustain,
유행하고 있어요.
is what I would say.
그래가지고 메타 자체가 그래가지고 그냥 한 번에 선치를 쓸 일 없이 먼저
instead of
잘라내면
just having this
어떤
ancestral,
방식으로 가든 4대5 싸움이 되면서
even if
자연스럽게
we
이기는
lose
구도가
one,
되기 때문에
I think
요즘에는 블러드러스트가 더 좋다고
even if
생각해서
we have 4v5
더
situation,
찍게 됐어요.
by losing one, by not having
그러면
by not having
공격적인
ancestral,
플레이에
I think
원래
bloodlust is
성향과
actually
맞서거든요.
better to
중요하다고
make that
생각하십니까?
a comeback play.
성향 자체는 어차피 메타에 맞춰가는 게 선수라고 생각을 해서 별로 그건 중요하지
I think
않은
by
것 같아요.
Van Picks, I think
와,
it's
정말 멋있는 전설의 지원가.
we just have to follow the meta and really follow all the heroes as well.
그럼 만약 시청자분들에게 이제 레가르를 시작하시는 분들이 계시다면 초보자도
Do you want to give some tips to the
블러드러스트를
viewers?
찍으라고 말씀해 주실 수 있나요?
아니요,
playing
그냥
Rengar.
레가르를 안 하는 게 좋을 것 같아요.
Do you recommend them
별로 안
playing picking bloodlust?
아, 네,
No, no, I
안
do not
좋다고
think so.
합니다.
Just
네.
go for that ancestral, please.
네, 그리고 이
Ancestral.
세트에 이제 좀 약간 위기의 순간이 왔어요.
try this at
마이에프의 목줄과 스투코프의 어떤 침묵 스킬의 연계가 이어지면서 위기의
Feliz
순간이
with-
왔는데 그때 어머니의 포지션으로서
And my Fs.
어떤 생각을 하셨는지 궁금합니다.
Having all the silence from
정신줄
Stupov
놓고
was
그냥
actually, you guys had some
당했던
trouble.
거라서 뭐라 팀원한테 할 얘기는 없는데
네.
제가 정신줄을 놔도 다른
And it
애들은
was
좀
our mistakes and
차려줬으면
often
좋겠어요.
my mistake as well.
본인이 약간 좀 힘들어도 다른
Sometimes
팀원들이
I
괜찮았으면 좋겠다.
This cat
그냥 게임
get
자체가
caught off guard
저희
sometimes,
팀이 제가
but I
뭔가
can't
한 번을
really
안 하면은 좀
blame
무난하게
blame
지는
on
것
anyone.
같아가지고
It's my mistake
친구들이
there.
좀 잘해줬으면 좋겠어요.
어,
제가
자식들이
네 그냥
And
IQ
even though I'm the
하나만으로도
older
이길 수
one
있게
in the team,
좀
I
알아서 잘 컸으면
I
좋겠는
wish
그런
we
마음인 거죠.
네.
strive and
네,
practice all
알겠습니다.
together and have a good
오늘
atmosphere in the team.
아나로도 이제 세이브 장면이 많이 나왔는데 스킬을 혹시 빠른 시전을 해놓으시나요?
Do you actually do quick
다
cast?
끄고 일반이라고 해야 되나? 스마트 키를 끄고 해야
I don't do any quick cast.
스마트 키를 끄고 근데 명중률이
No
굉장히
smart keys at
상당합니다. 연습량이 있었던 건가요?
제가 직선 논 타겟 스킬을 되게 못 맞추는 편이에요.
I'm really bad
그래가지고
with the straight
그냥
shot, like
판수로 밀었던 것
the
같아요.
Q dart
엄청
from
많이 해서
Anna.
좀 명중률을 높이려고 노력을 많이 했었어요.
so I actually did lots of
네,
practice
알겠습니다.
to have a better
이건 약간
accuracy on those skill
사단인데 이제
shots.
팀원이 잡혔을 때 무리해서 특히 약간 무리해서 잡혔을 때 보통 뭐라고 이제 얘기를 하시는지 궁금합니다.
What do you guys actually talk
다른
about when
친구들이 죽으면은 보통 어이구
one of
우리
your
팀에 벌레
members,
한 마리가
get-
있네 이렇게
gets
얘기를
caught?
하는데
and we
형식이가
sarcastically say,
담당
"Oh
선수가
no,
좀
someone
연습 때
died."
많이 던져요. 그래가지고 그때마다 다
And
같이
when we make
어이구
fun of
오늘
that,
좀 형식했다,
actually we have more
형식했다
people throwing at the
담당
same time.
선수만 형식했다라고 하고 다른 친구들은 벌레 한 마리 있다 그냥 이렇게 얘기하는 것 같아요.
We just
근데 벌레보단 형식이 낫지 않나요?
we just try to fool around at that time, not really bring down the
같은 것
atmosphere.
같아요. 제가
네.
봤을 때 뉘앙스가 쓰이는 요새
And who's the one that
쓰이는
throws?
단어
And I
자체가
can't really
같은
say here.
의미로 쓰고 있기 때문에 비슷하지 않나 싶네요.
네, 알겠습니다. 그리고 오늘 채팅창에 이제 상위권 지원가 실력은 거의 다 비슷하다라는 평이
And
있었어요.
we had lots of
그
chats.
평에
They were
대해서
saying
이제 오늘 승리팀의
the top
지원가로
top
여기
teams,
앉아계시니까 멋있게 한마디 해주세요.
top Korean teams actually having
제가
really great
저번가
supports all
왔는데도
over.
다들 저보다 못하는 것 같아요.
와,
And as I'm back here right now,
생각하시나요? 진심인가요?
I think everyone else is below me.
네,
All the supports.
알겠습니다. 그러면 내일 경기가 이제 발리스틱스인데요.
Bold
이
words from
이야기에
Mary
이 답변에
And against
이어서 내일
Ballistics
경기
tomorrow, that
임하는
you'll be
각오
facing
한마디
against
들어보도록
them.
할게요.
Let's hear what you have to say.
그냥 이기면 이기겠지, 지면 지겠지. 어차피 50%니까.
If we're gonna, if we can win, we'll win.
우리
If we
팀원들만
lose,
좀
we
잘해줬으면
will
좋겠어요.
lose.
저는 잘하니까.
I think that's going to be it, and I really put the pressure onto the teammate because I'm good.
다운 그런 멋진 각오였습니다. 그럼 내일 경기도 기대해 보도록 하겠고요.
Got the word
오늘
from Mary Day.
인터뷰는 여기서 마치도록
And that's
하겠습니다.
the end of the
중계진
interview.
나와주세요.
And casters, come back. Oh, never
Not
mind.
yet. We are going to take a look at the standings, which of course still include Tempest way up there in first place. Genji below them, but not really below them because they have yet to play a game, or their third game, which will happen, of course, tomorrow versus Supernova. Supernova does drop down a little bit in the standings. BlossoM moves up. I think that's the biggest change. And Feliz still struggling down there at the bottom.
Well, I think Supernova getting their hard matchups out of the way, and that's why they're dropping down a little bit. I think